presentation tonight of the Orange County's last remaining wilderness, the Orange County Land Trust. And Director Kyle Singuski. Did I say that correctly? Kyle?
Yeah, thank you so much.
With us. Welcome.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Hope you all had a happy new year. Should I go ahead and get started with the presentation?
Okay.
Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get this presentation going. Great. Thank you so much for having me. And just to confirm, is everyone seeing this presentation up right now?
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Perfect. Awesome. So I'm going to keep this brief, hoping to keep it less than 10 minutes. I'll start off with a brief intro as to, what the Orange County Land Trust is and what we're all about. I'll loop in some of our existing projects and how that relates to our upcoming initiative this year in the Delaware. And then finally talk about how you guys can help support us. So great. With that, I just wanted to say that, like most land trusts, we're really interested in working with private landowners in order to conserve, a variety of public environmental benefit. We're dedicated to the protection of watersheds, habitats, working farms, everything that sustains the community now and for future generations. We cover a wide variety of areas and objectives. We work in and around Orange County. We have protected some properties in Sullivan County, for example. And again, there's a variety of things that we can do. And sometimes we help protect land that is already attached to existing state parks and state forests, and we facilitate the transfer to those agencies. And then we also do what's called conservation easements on other kind of lands for a variety of purposes: climate resilience, watershed protection, water quality and recharge, food shed security, affordable farmland, all that kind of stuff, which I'm not going to go too deep into. Our primary tool are conservation easements, which of course I think everyone here probably knows a fair bit about that. Just a phenomenal tool to conserve natural resources while those properties still remain on the tax rolls and they continue to be privately owned. In many ways, we just act as a matchmaker between public and private sources of funding and landowners who want to conserve their land. We work with landowners to help tailor the restrictions that we'll put in place. We'll work with them to identify the special parts of the property that provide public environmental benefit, and then tailor the restrictions so that we can preserve that while also aligning the existing uses with conservation. Which could include things like sustainable timber harvesting. It could include farming and all that kind of stuff. So we're all about working with private landowners to achieve these goals, because most land is owned by privately, and that's going to continue to go that way. And in order to achieve these larger conservation goals, we're going to work with conservation easements and private landowners. So just to hop into an example of one of our existing programs, we partnered with the City of Port Jervis, as well as the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and the Open Space Institute that are providing funding for this opportunity. The City of Port Jervis has a phenomenal watershed lands, 2,000 plus acres. They turned what was an underutilized asset and really turned it into an engine for economic development with their trails, as well as for social connection. So they already had about 48 miles of trails that really has kind of helped provide some new elements to the city's liveliness, and we really wanted to build off of that. So we are currently under contract to purchase a little bit under 1,000 acres of land to the north and the southeast. And I'll just give a brief explanation of that. One example is our Bleenmer Pond property that we're looking to acquire, about 565 acres, directly connected into the watershed with already existing trails that is used by the public. And we're going to officially protect that in perpetuity, as well as provide public access. And then that's our Bleenmer Pond project. And then, of course, our Latini project, which is to the southeast of the City of Port Jervis. The Denver Sink Valley is just off to the right, as an example. Both of these are actually, we're basically the project managers, but ultimately the City of Port Jervis will own these. And in exchange, the land trust will hold a conservation easement and public access easement. This is through the Water Quality Improvement program through the DEC, as well as the Delaware River Watershed Protection Fund from the Open Space Institute. And of course, this is kind of our first steps into our upcoming initiative, and that is this Orange County's last remaining wilderness. So there's over 15,000 plus acres of privately owned land that is purely forested, that we're highly interested in protecting. In this area, we're really talking about that large contiguous forest of land all the way from northern New Jersey all the way through the Shawangunk Ridge and Eversing Valley leading up to the Catskills. We want to contribute to that large corridor of protected land while also providing benefit for water quality and whatever else it is, and whatnot. And so, we're really interested in particular. We've got the Mongop River, the Mongop Wildlife Management Area, the Bashakil Wildlife Management Area, as well as the Neversink Unique Area that we're really hoping to add to, because of course, the individual, the sum is greater than the individual parts, talking about connectivity and all that kind of stuff. And so, we're really wanting to, do a bunch of conservation easements in these areas in order to add to all of that contiguous forest and whatnot. And, currently right now there is a lot of readily available funding. We do have one final remaining round of the Delaware River Watershed Protection Fund from the Open Space Institute. It is opening up this one final round this year. Unfortunately, it seems that it's going to be going away in 2025. So we're making this big push to try to be able to leverage that existing funding so that we could complete all of our projects, so whatever we can do. And yeah, like I mentioned, we're hoping to add to these existing state parks and state forests, the wildlife management areas, and do whatever we can in order to contribute to that larger conservation goal of all these communities. So the last thing I just wanted to mention, is like, how you can help support us in trying to achieve this initiative of adding to protected land in the Delaware watershed, not just in Orange County, but also the surrounding area. The first thing, we're really hoping to have the Upper Delaware Council to join us as a supporting organization, which would mean we would have your logo on top of a bunch of other supporting organizations on our initiative website. So that's something I'm hoping to, have that discussed at an upcoming meeting, so that we can have you as a supporter of this initiative. The other things I would mention is, we're really looking for whatever kind of leads we can find in terms of private landowners looking to conserve their property. So spreading awareness about what a conservation easement is, the bundle of rights that is, development rights and whatnot, spreading awareness of that there's opportunities and there's funding availability. And we can tailor, the uses of the property with conservation. The final thing is just sort of that there are some common myths about conservation easements that I feel would be beneficial to dispel. I think some of the more common ones was public access is not inherent to conservation easements. Another one is, the land continues to reign on the tax rolls and privately owned. And, finally, just because you're engaging in some activity like sustainable timber harvesting, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is incompatible with a conservation easement. So these are a variety of things that if you can spread awareness of, and kind of get people to think about conservation a little bit more and how they could potentially conserve their property in this area, that would be tremendously helpful. And with that, just wanted to offer my contact information if you do happen to have any additional questions or potential leads or anything that I can talk to people about in terms of conservation opportunities, funding opportunities, whatever that may be. And so with that, I just want to thank you all for inviting me here today. Hope I wasn't too long, and yeah, just wanted to open this up to questions.
I have one, Kyle. That one map you have with the colors on it.
Yep.
Could you send this presentation to Lori and have her send it out? I live on Wilson Road, right over the Hawks Nest. That one, the one before that, and I just like to look at that closely as I can see here.
Sure, yeah, I'm happy to share that.
I'm very familiar with that. I grew up in that area. So I just like to look those over. So you can send that to Lori, and then she can send it out to us.
Great, yeah, happy to. I'll send it to Lori and then we can share it with whoever else.
Thank you.
Kyle, I have a question. Since this is Orange County, you may be aware probably that the Upper Delaware only extends as far as the #2 bridge in the town of Deer Park. So I'm not sure how much impact this program would have on the Upper Delaware Council. Maybe you can speak to that.
Sure, I can totally understand. So we do work in and around Orange County. We have protected some properties in Sullivan, and we are actually doing, 2 upcoming projects that are on the very northern tip of Orange County. So there might be some limitations with our presentation to this group, given the geography. However, there is the Delaware Highlands Conservancy that we do work with extensively as well in our partnerships. And if I do happen to hear of anything that's more so in their geography, I can certainly share it with them. So yeah, whatever works.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Kyle in the group? Okay, well, thank you very much. We appreciate the information.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Right.